Hey guys, Christian here, and in this video I wanted to have a little bit of a rant about some of the differences that you see between the attitude that we're expecting from students in the classroom compared to the attitude of people we would be expecting in, say, a workplace. Alright, so there's a little couple of differences there that really sort of get on my nerves, and I just wanted to have a quick talk about that, so check this out. So, one thing that's really been sort of bothering me lately about this whole attitude towards the classroom, and math subjects are a big one in particular, but it kind of applies to every subject. When you're working with students and you're sort of setting them an assigned amount of work, or whatever the case may be, we're always talking about how students should be doing a certain number of hours, or a certain number of questions, or a certain amount of study in order to achieve the results they need. And that's all well and good, right? Hard work pays off. There is no one here that is going to question that for a second. But what really gets on my nerves is a lot of the time, students are being set what I call pointless questions. All right? Now, a pointless question is basically a question that students likely already know the answer to. For example, a question really early in the exercise that is just sort of testing them rather than actually teaching them. But the questions that they're working on, theoretically, they already know, and they're wasting a lot of time on it. So when a teacher sets, an example for, say, like finish the exercise in maths, right? The first probably 40 to 50 questions, and I'm not exaggerating those numbers, are fairly pointless questions because the student already knows what's going on. Now, the problem with this is the student still has to go through the work to get to the questions that are actually going to provide some value to them. And it got me thinking about this sort of environment and how it might play out in a workplace. Now, if we gave a bunch of work to someone in the workplace, knowing full well that 3/4 of it was not actually going to make any difference to the company, we'd be stark raving mad. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. The entire, work system, any business sort of thing will always encourage this idea of working smarter, not harder. Right, so getting the same amount of work done in less time, more efficiently, finding the best way to do things so that we can get the job done really quickly and move on to the next one. We don't do that in schools. In schools, we tell kids to do a bunch of questions in order from start to finish, and you must do all of them. Now, 3/4 of the time, let's face it, students don't end up making it to the end, and they're missing out on the stuff that's actually going to make a difference to their education. Meanwhile, they're burning through all these questions, grinding through the work that they don't really need to work on, which is essentially the same as going to someone in the workplace and say, hey, do this 5 hours of work, but only the last hour is going to make any difference. Why would you do something like that? It makes no sense. We're always teaching people in the workplace that they need to work smarter, not harder. Now, don't get me wrong, hard work pays off, and the best opportunities are going to come from the people who work smart and hard. But students are being told to just work hard, not work smart, which doesn't make any sense. So what we need to do is we need to flip this on its head a little, and instead of just giving students a bunch of questions, all right, when I work with my students, I don't leave them with 30 or 40 questions to work through. I leave them with 5, but I know those 5 are going to provide more value than the 40 they could do out of the textbook. And in this way, I'm trying to teach them that you can work smart, not hard, in order to achieve the results you want, right? By taking on 5 questions that are going to provide true value to their education, they're going to get much further than if they were going to do 40 questions that they already know the answer to about 30 of them. It doesn't make any sense, and it's not the mentality that we want to be teaching students who will eventually be moving into the workplace that we're going to be working with. We don't want to be working with people who think that the only thing you need to do is grind, because if all you do is grind your way to the top, it's going to be a very, very slow process, all right? Something's got to happen where you start working a little bit more efficiently, a little bit smarter. That work ethic is going to be great, but it's got to be applied in the right way, otherwise you're going to find these people are wasting their time. We don't like it in the workplace. We don't like it when people are working, to things that are not efficiently, they're not getting everything done that they could be doing, but they're just grinding. It doesn't make any sense. So why are we teaching students the same thing? That doesn't make any sense either. What we should be doing is teaching the students how to work smart so that when they do work hard, they're getting 3, 4, 5 times as much done. That's it from me anyway, guys. That was my little rant. It really gets on my nerves, and I think we need to start thinking about how these students are applying the type of work they're doing, the type of questions they're doing, so they can get infinitely more value out of potentially less or at least the same amount of work. Let me know what you think of this. Please hit me up in the comments section if you have any questions. I'd love to get down there and have a chat. My name is Christian. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next video. Bye for now.